whether the special counsel was in a broad overreach of his mandate trying to pressure Mr. Manafort. Shimon Prokopez joins us with the highlights from that hearing. Shimon, what did the judge say and how significant is this?
John, a pretty stunning development here in that the judge really challenging the special counsel, the prosecutors in court there today. This was a hearing brought by Paul Manafort's attorney seeking to dismiss some of these charges, and really stunning words from the prosecutor here, Judge Ellis. He's known to be somewhat conservative in the Eastern District of Virginia. And let me just tell you, get right to what he said here. Here's how it went. Basically, the judge, in response to something the prosecutor had said, told him, you don't really care about Mr. Manafort's bank fraud case. Bank fraud. Prosecutors, basically saying the prosecutors were interested in Manafort because of what he could provide that would lead potentially to Trump's prosecution or impeachment. That's what you're really interested in, the judge said to the prosecutor. And then he went on to really say, kind of review what Manafort's attorneys have been arguing all along, in that this case had nothing to do with collusion or Russian interference in the election. And here's what the judge had to say about that. And this was also in response to an argument from the prosecutor. And the judge says that none of that information has to do with information related to Russian government coordination and the campaign of Donald Trump. Now, John, as you know, Manafort's attorneys have been arguing this point since this case was brought, saying that this had nothing to do with the Russia investigation, that this was an overreach by the special counsel. But of course, we know that the special counsel was granted permission by the Department of Justice, by Rod Rosenstein in that memo. All of this does not give us any indication on how the judge is going to rule. But certainly from a political perspective, these are some choice and interesting words from the judge who just said this, short time ago in court in the Eastern District of Virginia.
And I suspect we'll be hearing them soon, the judge being quoted by the president's political allies to make that point. Shimon, thanks for the reporting there. Let's bring in CNN legal analyst Michael Zeldin. Michael, you have experience in special counsel investigations. I want to read you one more quote from this judge. We don't want anyone in this country with unfettered power. It's unlikely you're going to persuade me the special prosecutor has the power to do anything he or she wants. Is that, in your view, this is a Reagan appointee, a conservative judge, does this raise the pressure on Bob Mueller essentially to, move his case faster if he's starting to face skeptical judges?
Well, it's hard to tell. This is a motion to dismiss the indictment on overreaching his mandate. But as Shimon reported, on August the 2nd, the Justice Department gave Mueller this expanded mandate when he asked the Justice Department, what do you want me to do with this case? So in some sense, the judge's complaint should be directed at the Maine Department of Justice to say, why did you give this aspect of the case to Mueller when it seems untethered to the Russia investigation? You should have done what you did in New York and give that to the Southern District of New York. That all said, it has political, sort of legs, but I don't think it has legal legs unless the judge says that Rosenstein lacked the authority under the regulations to expand Mueller's mandate. So I think, it was not a good day from a political optics standpoint, but I'm not sure that the judge has legal standing to dismiss the indictment on the basis of his, sort of political belief that prosecutors need to be closely tethered to a mandate more so than Mueller seems to be in his estimation.
And let me ask you quickly on another issue, but it's related. The president made pretty clear today he's not going in voluntarily to talk to the special counsel. If you're Robert Mueller, I know you're pursuing a legal investigation, and I know about his integrity and his credibility. However, this is the president of the United States. If the president's making clear he's not coming in voluntarily and your end decision would be to issue a subpoena, should he get about that business sooner rather than later?
Well, I think that it's not foregone, John, that they are not going to reach some accommodation on a voluntary interview, because I believe that the lawyers representing Trump, not Giuliani, the real lawyers representing Trump, understand that the law favors the interview. The grand jury subpoena probably would be upheld. So I'm not sure that they want to take that fight and lose it. So they may still try hard. Flood and the two Raskin attorneys, they may still try hard to reach some accommodation, which is narrow in scope, narrow in duration.